Hi, it's Alexis Hasselberger, time management and productivity coach. Do you ever feel like time just gets away from you? There's never enough time. You've been struggling with it for long enough that you're just not sure that anything is ever going to change. You have maybe goals around becoming more organized or being able to have more time for yourself, but it just doesn't seem like it ever happens and you're not sure how you're going to get there. Well, I think this is true of a lot of people, especially the people that I end up working with. And maybe you, if you're here right now watching this. And so I just want to talk about a little bit about how we can move on from this idea that we're not ever going to get better at it. Because the reality is, even if those are your goals, these kind of higher level goals, there are still skills that you can learn that will help you to start using your time in support of your goals and your values. And so I don't usually share what my process is, but I want to let you in on a little secret, because when I work with folks, we're taking these big goals and we're breaking them down into actionable skill sets that we can learn. And so I wanted to share with you what that journey looks like. And so it starts from a position, it's actually eight steps, 8 phases. And it starts from a position of just knowing yourself better exactly as you are, taking stock of your current reality. I mean, we cannot get to where we want to be going if we don't know where we're starting from, right? So just understanding, where does our time go right now? What kind of distractions are we facing? What are some things that are just really central to us, like our personalities and different traits that we have that might affect how we get things done? So we always want to start there, because only then can we start to say, we know which kind of skills and which kind of strategies are going to work better for who we actually are based on our current life, our real circumstances, because we're real people, right? And we don't live in some world where we can just kind of take things off the shelf. So we start there. Then we move into task management, because, task management, in many ways, it really is time management, right? It's task management is just all the things that we have to do, that we want to do, that we might want to do, and having a way to centrally build a hub for all of this, so that we're not using our memory, so that we don't have a million Post-it notes laying around and notebooks for different things that we can never find. We want to have a central place where we keep all of that, so that we can then prioritize with confidence, so we can break down those barriers to procrastination. We really want to focus on what we say yes to, what we say no to, and learning skills around some of those things. Then we move on to planning. So planning is so important. I always talk about separating the planning from the doing, because when we separate the planning from the doing, we're able to get more done, and it feels less stressful, and we know what to expect. Are our plans ever going to go exactly as we plan them? No. I mean, we live in the real life, but we want to learn skills around how to plan realistically based on the time that you have available, as well as how to plan, so that we can expect the unexpected, because things will come up, right? Our plans are not going to go off exactly always as planned. The next set of skills that we work on building are around our communication. So we are talking email, we're talking Slack, we're talking WhatsApp, text messaging, like all these different ways that we communicate with other people. And sometimes it feels like there's just an onslaught. We're drinking from a fire hose, like we are never going to be able to tackle it all. But there are skills, there are techniques that allow us to really be on top of our communications, to not have that feeling like we're missing something, or really to know that we're missing something. Because we have learned skills around managing these things in a way that feels sustainable, in a way that we can get to inbox zero without spending all of our time on email. I just had a client today say, I'm at inbox zero. It feels pretty easy. And 6 months ago, I would have thought it was totally impossible, right? So these are skills that we can learn. Then we move into our calendar. So calendar management, skills around effective calendar management, like these are a huge deal for a lot of us, because our days are run by our calendars, right? And if our calendar is running us instead of us running our calendar, well, we are just kind of scrambling all day long and feeling like our time is not our own. However, if we can take some control of our calendar, if we can do a meeting audit, we can actually make our calendar work for us. It can be kind of a boundary enforcer for us. It can be a gentle reminder of what we plan to do to keep us focused. So calendar management skills come next. Then we move into habit building skills because let's face it, we do not build or we do not build habits based on willpower or motivation. I mean, sure, those are little factors, but that is a recipe for disaster if we're trying to rely on motivation and willpower to help us build habits. We need real strategies, science-backed strategies to help us build certain skills so that we can turn the different skills that we're using into actual habits, right? So that we can get to that point where everything feels easy, like my client said. Then after that, we're starting to move into some icing on the cakes, just sort of things, right? So we're talking about efficiency, and that's where we go next. Is what are a bunch of skills that we can learn around efficiency? Because what we want to do is be able to take the time that we've dedicated for working and for being productive, and we want to use that in the most efficient way possible, so that we have lots of time for the other things that we want to do in life. Maybe the things that aren't, so classically productive. Now, I think productivity is just doing what I'd planned to do. So, if I'm laying on the couch and watching Netflix because that's what I'd planned to do, I'm having a productive day. But I know that we don't all view things the same way. But we really want to think about efficiency. We want to think about skills around templates and routine and batch processing and outsourcing and delegation. There's a lot of skills in there that help us to be much more efficient so that we are working smarter, not harder, that elusive combination there, right? And then finally, we move into skills around focus. So, one of the things that we think about is like, well, focus, isn't that just the absence of distractions? And no, I don't think so. I mean, when I'm thinking about focus, I'm thinking about, focusing even when I'm in a place where there are no distractions, right? Sometimes I still can't focus. So how do I get myself to do that? What about focusing on things you don't really want to do, but that you have to do, right? So sometimes those are the things that we procrastinate over and over, and then we feel bad about it. So really building in some skills to be able to help us focus in the times that we need to, so that we can, again, get more done when we're trying to get stuff done and have more time for everything else that we want to do. So I really just wanted to share this process with you. It's not something that I typically share with people outside of those who are working with me, but I thought it might be helpful to just see that these are actually skills you can learn. There's a progression in which we learn them so that we can build them into our lives. And if you're still watching this, I want to invite you to a masterclass that I am going to be offering over the next week or so. And so I'm going to put right here in the description a link where you can register for this free masterclass, and it is how to bust through your productivity roadblocks. So if you join me, you will have a chance to learn a few of the skills that we have just talked about and to come away with some things that are really actionable for you. So I hope that you will join us.
Hey, it is the video editor here. Just want to quickly say that only 8.3% of the people that watch our videos are actually subscribed. So just, go down, subscribe, maybe do a little bit of comment, do a bit of a like. But I mean, just help out the channel. Like, come on, man, just help out.